everyone in Kansas, no matter where they live, pays a 20 mil levy for education. And then after that property tax is collected, then the state general fund fills in behind that to make up the rest of a school district's budget.
And you mentioned that's half of the state general fund goes towards education.
Right. Half of the state general fund goes toward kindergarten through 12th grade education, and then another 12% or so to higher ed. And then if you also count Medicaid, that's 20% of the state budget, and other kinds of human services, that's another 7 or 8. Really, 90% of the state's general fund is spent either on education or human services in some way.
And the budget shortfall we're looking at right now, where the red line's not meeting the green line because of the income tax cuts, how is that going to affect the budget, the education budget, that is?
Okay. Well, revenue to the state general fund has dropped dramatically in the wake of big tax cuts that were implemented this last year or two. And as a result, the state's expenses are now much higher than the state's income. And the state has been making up the difference between those two things by spending down its savings account, but the savings account's almost gone. So now, going forward, the state's going to have to find some way to make expenses and income match, and that's going to be really hard. And if the state tries to do that by cutting things, by cutting programs, that almost certainly will affect education, because education is half the budget. It's big.
A statutory end limit was mentioned, but what do you think as far as once the legislature gets to work, how long do they have to make a decision before it's too late, where the state's not going to end at zero or above, hopefully?
The fiscal year that we're in right now, which started on July 1 and will end next June 30, is already pretty badly out of balance. And the first job of the legislature in January is going to be to try to somehow figure out how to bring revenue and expenditures back together. But they have to do it before June 30, before the fiscal year runs out, and that's not an easy task. I think they'll probably be able to get that done. I would expect that the legislature will go right to work in January and will try to do that, but some of the decisions are going to be pretty painful.